Arsenal waited 22 years to become Premier League champions. They finished second again and again, watched Manchester City dominate, came painfully close, and then finally did it. But now comes the hardest part. Can Arsenal actually stay at the top? Because the 2026-27 season isn't about proving Arsenal can win the Premier League anymore. It's about proving that winning it wasn't one-time achievement, and Arsenal have already made their intention clear. This summer, Mikel Arteta and the club have been rebuilding the squad around one simple idea: more quality, more depth, more competition. And the biggest statement of them all, Bruno Guimarães. Arsenal have brought in a Brazilian midfielder from the Newcastle in deal reported around 75 million euros. And this isn't just another big name signing. Bruno gives Arteta another elite midfielder who can progress the ball, win duels, create chances, and control games. Now imagine Arsenal midfield option: Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Bruno Guimarães, Martin Odegaard, Mikel Merino. That is ridiculous depth, and it could be exactly what Arsenal need, because last season the problem wasn't simply having good starting 11, the problem was surviving an entire season at the highest level: Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. You cannot expect the same 11 players to play every 3 days and still perform at their best. That's why squad depth could be Arsenal's biggest weapon this season. And then there's Christos Tzolis. Arsenal signed the Greek forward from Club Brugge for around 34 million euros, bringing him in after Leandro Trossard's departure to Besiktas. Tzolis isn't coming here just to sit on bench. He scored 17 league goals and provided 23 assists in his final season with Club Brugge, and Arsenal clearly see him as another attacking option capable of adding goals and creativity. Then there's Piero Hincapié, giving Arsenal other defensive option, while Ilan Meslier provide competition in goal. And this is where Arsenal plan become obvious. They are not trying to completely change the team, they are trying to upgrade it. The champions are keeping their core while adding more weapon around it. Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Merino are still there, but here's the biggest question. Can Arsenal become more dangerous moving forward? Because defensively, they were already incredible. The next step is turning control into domination. Arsenal cannot just win games 1-0 and hope everything goes perfectly. Against the weaker teams, they need to put games away earlier. Against the big teams, they need players who can create something when tactical battle become impossible. And that's where players like Saka, Odegaard, Eze, Tzolis, and Gyökeres become absolutely crucial. But there's another huge storyline: the Champions League. Last season, Arsenal reached Champions League final. They lost to PSG. So this time, the target has to be different. They already know they can reach the final. They now have to believe they can win it. And that's probably where Bruno Guimarães could become one of the most important additions, because European knockout football is different. You need players who can handle the pressure and physical battles, and Arsenal now have even more options to change games. But there is one thing Arteta still has to manage, that is to balance the squad, and that's important, because Arsenal don't need 30 players who all expect to start. They need the right players, the right profiles, and the right mentality. Even young players like Max Dorman could become important as the season progresses. Imagine Arsenal having established stars competing for trophies while one of their biggest academy talent is developing alongside them. That could be beginning of something much bigger. So, how does the 26-27 season end? I don't think Arsenal should be satisfied with just defending their Premier League title. They should be targeting double, and honestly, I think Arsenal have real chances. The Premier League will be incredibly difficult. Manchester City won't disappear. Manchester United will be there. Chelsea are spending heavily, and Arsenal now have the pressure of being the champion. But that's the difference between Arsenal last season and Arsenal this season. They aren't chasing the champion anymore. They are the champions. The question is, can Arsenal make winning trophies normal? Because if Arteta get their squad right, 25-26 season could end up being remembered not as Arsenal breakthrough, but as beginning of their era.